Hello, and welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. Can I ask you something? Have you ever started your morning with a drink of water and noticed your stomach feels a little unsettled, your chest uncomfortable, or your head just a bit off? Most of us wouldn't think twice about it. It's just water, right? But the truth is, the way you drink that very first glass each morning can either gently support your body or quietly make things harder, especially if you're a woman over 60 and your body's needs have shifted with time. Sometimes that small detail can lead to feeling off balance, bloated, anxious, or lightheaded, and we rarely suspect our water could be the reason. It's not just how much water you drink in the morning that matters, but also when you drink it, how cold or warm it is, and even what else you've eaten, or not eaten, beforehand. Today, I want to talk about 8 easy-to-make mistakes that many women run into with their morning hydration, and how a few gentle changes can make a real difference. You won't need to buy expensive products or follow complicated routines. It's about listening to your body and treating it with a little extra patience and respect, especially after everything it's done for you over the years. Let's take a closer look at how you can start your day feeling stronger and more comfortable, just by changing the way you drink water in the morning. Mistake number 1, drinking ice-cold water first thing in the morning. If you're like many women, you might keep a bottle of cold water in the fridge or pour yourself a glass straight from the tap each morning. It feels refreshing, especially on a warm day, and for years you may have started your mornings this way, without a second thought. But as we age, that cold water may no longer be as friendly as it once was. Let me explain why. When we sleep, our bodies enter a resting and healing state. Our muscles relax, our heart rate slows, blood vessels gently constrict to preserve warmth, our digestion goes quiet. Everything softens. Now imagine what happens when you suddenly pour ice-cold water into that gentle system the moment you wake up. The cold hits your stomach and causes the muscles to tighten. Blood vessels constrict even more. Your digestive system, which is still waking up, gets shocked into action before it is ready. For many women, this sudden impact can cause stomach cramps, bloating, or even feelings of nausea. Some experience chills or a slight headache, and they never connect it to the temperature of their water. Cold water can also slow down your metabolism first thing in the morning, when your body is trying to warm up naturally. It puts your body into stress mode, not because water is bad, but because your system isn't prepared for something that extreme right away. I want to tell you about Grace. She's 74 years old, active, bright, and full of energy. For most of her adult life, she drank ice water every morning. She said it helped her wake up and clear her throat. But over time, she started noticing that her hands stayed cold all morning, her digestion felt off, and her energy would dip by mid-morning. After speaking with her doctor, she made one simple change. She stopped drinking cold water. Instead, she began drinking room temperature water that had been sitting out overnight or slightly warmed in a kettle. Within a week, she said her mornings felt smoother, her stomach more comfortable, and her hands no longer cold. It was a small shift, but it made a big difference. This doesn't mean you can never have cold water again, but your first glass of the day, the one that wakes up your body, should be gentle. Let the water be close to the temperature of your body. It should feel welcoming, not shocking. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for that glass of cold water, pause for a moment. Try room temperature water instead. Let it greet your body slowly. See how you feel. You might be surprised how such a tiny change can bring such deep comfort. Mistake number 2, drinking water too fast or in big gulps. You wake up feeling thirsty. Maybe your mouth is dry, your throat a little tight. You reach for that glass of water and drink it down in a few big gulps. It feels good at first, refreshing, satisfying. But then, not long after, you might notice something strange. Your stomach feels bloated. You feel a little dizzy, your chest flutters, or your heart races slightly. You sit down, wondering what's going on. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. When we first wake up, our bodies are still in transition from sleep to full activity. Your heart rate is slowly rising, your blood pressure is adjusting, your digestion is starting to warm up, your kidneys and bladder are beginning to activate again after hours of rest. So when you suddenly pour a full glass of water into your stomach, especially quickly, it can overwhelm the system. Your stomach expands too fast, your kidneys jump into action, your electrolyte levels may shift slightly, and your body can misinterpret that sudden rush as a stress signal. The problem isn't the water itself, it's how quickly we drink it. For women over 60, whose systems may already be more sensitive due to changes in circulation, hormone balance, or medications, that sudden shock can be more noticeable. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 77 years old and used to start her day with a large glass of water the moment her feet hit the floor. She thought it was the healthy thing to do, but many mornings she felt lightheaded and slightly off. It wasn't every day, but it happened enough to worry her. Her doctor suggested a small change. Instead of chugging water, she should sip it slowly over 15 minutes. Linda began sitting by her window each morning, holding her mug of water with both hands. She took small sips, breathing gently, giving her body time to wake up and receive the water. Within days, the dizziness was gone. She said her mornings felt more peaceful, her energy steadier. Drinking water in the morning isn't a race, it's a moment of care. Think of it like feeding a delicate plant. You wouldn't pour a gallon of water into the pot all at once. You'd give it just enough, slowly, allowing the soil to absorb it. Your body is the same, even more so after years of carrying you through life. So tomorrow morning, don't rush. Sit down, take a breath, sip your water slowly. Let it support you, not startle you. That gentle change could set the tone for your entire day. Mistake number 3. Drinking from plastic bottles that have been sitting out overnight. This one might come as a surprise because it's a habit that feels convenient and harmless. You keep a plastic water bottle on your nightstand. Maybe refill it every evening and take a few sips in the morning as soon as you wake up. It's easy, right there when you need it, and for years it probably seemed like the right thing to do. But here's the truth. If that plastic bottle is sitting out overnight, especially in a warm room, near a lamp or next to a window where sunlight might hit, it could be quietly affecting your health over time. Certain plastics, especially older or lower quality ones, can release chemicals into the water. One of the most well-known is BPA, short for bisphenol A, which can interfere with your hormones. Even if your bottle says BPA-free, many other chemicals used in plastics can act in similar ways, mimicking estrogen or disrupting natural hormone balance. For women over 60, whose hormone systems may already be shifting due to age or medication, this kind of interference can create subtle problems. You might feel more tired, more bloated, more irritable, or just not quite like yourself, and never think to blame the water you're drinking. Let me tell you about Elaine. She's 80 years old and has always been good about drinking water. Every night she'd fill up her old plastic bottle from the tap and leave it by her bed, but over time she began to wake up with headaches. She felt sluggish even after a good night's sleep. Her digestion felt off, and she had no idea why. Eventually, during a visit with her nutritionist, they looked at her water habits. Elaine swapped her plastic bottle for a simple glass jar and started pouring fresh water each morning instead of reusing what had sat overnight. Within a couple of weeks, the headaches eased, her energy improved. She said she felt clearer, like a light fog had lifted. It wasn't a major change, it didn't cost a lot, but it gave her body one less thing to fight against each day. So if you're using a plastic bottle, especially one that's been sitting out for hours or used repeatedly, consider making a small upgrade. Choose glass or stainless steel, rinse it well, fill it fresh each morning. Your body deserves clean water, not just in taste, but in purity. Give yourself that extra care. You've earned it. Mistake number 4, drinking too much water right after taking your morning medications. This is a habit that many women follow every single day. You wake up, take your medication as prescribed, and wash it down with a big glass of water. It seems like the right thing to do. Your doctor probably even told you to take your pills with plenty of fluids. But here's something that's not often explained. How much water, when you drink it, and what's in your stomach at the time can make a big difference in how you feel and in how well your medication works. For some women, drinking too much water too quickly, right after taking pills on an empty stomach, can cause a rush of discomfort. That big gulp of water can irritate the lining of your stomach, especially if it's still sensitive from hours of fasting. It can cause nausea, bloating, and sometimes even mild heartburn. You might feel uneasy, foggy, or slightly sick, and assume it's just your medication or your age, but it might be the water. On the other hand, drinking a large amount of water after eating a full breakfast and taking medication, especially if it's a pill that needs to be taken on an empty stomach, can also interfere with how well it's absorbed. Either way, your body gets confused and may struggle to process what you've given it. Let me share Margaret's story. She's 79 and has been on thyroid medication for years. Every morning she took her pill with a full glass of water, then waited half an hour before eating. But out of nowhere she started feeling queasy. Her lab results showed everything was normal, yet the nausea kept returning. Finally, she spoke with her doctor and described exactly what she was doing. That's when they figured it out. The amount of water was too much, too fast, and her stomach simply wasn't handling it well. Margaret made one small change. Instead of drinking a full glass, she took just a few sips, enough to swallow the pill comfortably, and waited before drinking more. The nausea disappeared. She said she felt better almost immediately, her follow-up blood work even more stable than before. So here's the gentle reminder. You don't need to flood your system first thing in the morning. Start slow. Sip just enough to help the medication go down, and then give your body time, 20, 30, even 45 minutes before adding more water or food. Your morning routine doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be kind. Listen to your body. It will tell you what works. Mistake number 5. Skipping breakfast and replacing it with only water. You've probably heard the advice, just drink water in the morning and skip breakfast. It's better for weight loss or better for your digestion. And for some people, especially younger adults, that might be true for a while. But for women over 60, especially those who are already balancing medications, energy changes, and hormonal shifts, starting your day with nothing but water can slowly wear you down. Here's what happens. After a full night's rest, often 8 to 10 hours without food, your blood sugar is low, your muscles are waiting for fuel. Your brain is eager for nourishment, so it can think clearly and focus. Water can help rehydrate your system, yes, but it cannot give you the calories, the protein, the vitamins, or the fiber your body truly needs to feel strong and stable. When you only drink water, or water followed by coffee, you're asking your body to get moving without anything to move on. You may not feel it right away, but over time the signs begin to show up. You might feel shaky, your mood might dip, you may get headaches, feel more forgetful, or struggle to stay focused through the morning. I want to tell you about Alice. She's 71 years old and very independent. A few months ago, she decided to follow an intermittent fasting routine she saw online. She stopped eating breakfast and only drank water until lunch. At first, she said she felt fine. She even lost a few pounds. But slowly things began to shift. She forgot appointments. She repeated conversations without realizing it. Her energy dipped, and her family started to notice. Her daughter gently suggested she visit the doctor. The results: no major issues, just an underfueled body trying to keep up. Alice began eating a light breakfast again, just a boiled egg, a slice of toast, maybe a few berries, nothing heavy or complicated, but her energy came back. Her mind felt sharper, and she felt more like herself. Skipping breakfast might seem harmless or even helpful, but when your body is running on empty, even a glass of water can't carry you far. So tomorrow morning, as you drink your water, ask yourself, what small nourishment could I add to support my body today? It could be a few almonds, a spoonful of yogurt, or half a banana. Something gentle, something real. Because hydration matters, but so does fuel. And you, my friend, deserve both. Mistake number 6. Drinking water after coffee instead of before. Coffee is comforting for many of us. It's part of a quiet, familiar morning ritual. The warmth of the cup, the scent in the air, the sense that the day is beginning. You may even look forward to it before you get out of bed. But if that first sip of the day is coffee and you haven't had any water yet, your body might already be starting off slightly out of balance. Here's why. Coffee is a natural diuretic, meaning it encourages your body to release fluids. That might not sound like a problem until you realize that after 8 hours of sleep, you're already dehydrated. If you begin your day with a dehydrating drink and skip the hydration your body actually needs first, it can cause a ripple effect throughout your system. What does that look like? You might notice dry skin, headaches, or feeling lightheaded. Your blood pressure might rise slightly. Your digestion may slow down. You might feel jittery or more anxious than usual. And again, not realize that it's partly because your body is thirsty, not just waking up. Water, on the other hand, helps your liver flush out toxins that have been filtered during the night. It helps your kidneys balance fluids. It gets your digestive system gently moving. It even supports your brain, which is more than 70% water. Now, I'm not telling you to give up coffee, not at all. But when you have coffee before water, you're stimulating your system before supporting it. And for women over 60, whose bodies may already be more sensitive to caffeine, this simple order can make a big difference. Let me tell you about Jeanne. She's 75 and never skipped her morning coffee, but she often had a headache or felt slightly shaky an hour or two later. After learning about this simple adjustment, she started keeping a small glass of water by her kettle. Before brewing coffee, she drank that glass, just a few ounces. Within a week, her headache stopped, her digestion improved, and she said her coffee felt more welcoming, less like a jolt, and more like a comfort. Again, the fix is easy. Tomorrow, before you sip your coffee, reach for water first. It doesn't need to be a full glass, just a few sips to let your system wake up naturally. Think of it as setting the table before the meal. You're not taking anything away. You're simply helping your body start the day on your side. Mistake number 7. Waiting too long to drink water after waking up. You might not feel thirsty when you first open your eyes in the morning, and that's completely normal. Thirst isn't always loud or obvious. But if you're going an hour or more before taking even a sip of water, your body might be quietly struggling to catch up. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up in a naturally dehydrated state. You've gone all night without fluids, and during that time, you lose water through breathing, through your skin, and through simple body function. Even if you don't sweat at night, you're still losing fluid. Now, if you wait too long to drink water, whether it's because you're busy, distracted, or just not in the habit, your body stays in that dry state longer than it should. And that delay can lead to subtle symptoms that sneak up on you throughout the day. You might feel tired even if you slept well. Your skin may feel dry or itchy. Your digestion could feel slow. Your blood pressure might fluctuate more easily. You could feel a little anxious, foggy, or irritable, and never quite connect it to the fact that your cells are just asking for hydration. Let me share Karen's story. She's 73 and told me she never felt thirsty in the morning. She'd go straight into her day, a little coffee, a few chores, maybe a walk, and sometimes forget to drink water until late morning. She assumed it was no big deal, but she started noticing that her mornings felt harder than they used to. She was more tired, less clear, and occasionally got dizzy when standing up too fast. Her doctor ruled out major issues, so we looked at her morning habits. She made one tiny change. She began keeping a small glass of water on her nightstand. Before getting out of bed, she'd sit up and sip just a few ounces. Nothing heavy, no pressure, just a soft beginning. Within a week, she said her energy came back. She felt clearer, more grounded and less dizzy. Sometimes it's not about how much water you drink, but when you drink it. So tomorrow, don't wait for thirst to remind you. Give your body a little water first thing, even if it's just a few small sips within the first 30 minutes of waking up. You'll be starting your day in alignment with what your body truly needs, and that gentle act of care can shape the rest of your morning in ways you might not expect. Mistake number 8, adding lemon or vinegar to your water too early. Lemon water, apple cider vinegar. You've likely heard that these are healthy morning habits, great for digestion, metabolism, or detox. And yes, they can offer real benefits, but here's what most people don't talk about. When and how you use them makes all the difference. If you're drinking lemon water or vinegar water first thing in the morning, especially before eating anything, it might be doing more harm than good, particularly for women over 60. Why? Because both lemon juice and vinegar are acidic. That acidity can irritate your stomach lining if it's empty. It may cause heartburn, nausea, or a dull ache in your belly that you can't quite explain. For some women, especially those dealing with acid reflux or sensitive digestion, these symptoms can feel worse over time. I want to tell you about Sharon. She's 72, active, and loves trying natural health tips. She started her mornings with warm lemon water every day, and for a while she felt great. But after a few weeks she noticed more bloating, more reflux, and discomfort in her chest after breakfast. She thought it might be her coffee, or even her medication, but after a little reflection, she realized it started when she began using lemon water. Sharon adjusted her routine. She kept her morning water plain, just room temperature and gentle, and saved the lemon water for later in the morning after she'd had a small breakfast. Within days, the bloating eased. Her stomach felt calm again. It's not that lemon or vinegar are bad. In fact, they can be helpful in the right context. Lemon water can support vitamin C intake, and vinegar can aid digestion for some people. But the key is timing and how your body responds. If your stomach feels tender, if you're prone to reflux, or if you just want a calmer start to your day, avoid acidic drinks first thing. Start with plain water and see how your body feels. Later on, if you want to add a little lemon or a splash of vinegar, do it after a light meal. That way, your system is already buffered and better able to handle the acidity. As always, it's not about removing everything from your routine. It's about choosing what supports you in the gentlest, most respectful way. And your morning should never feel like a struggle, especially not from something as simple as your first glass of water. So let's take a moment to gently review everything we've covered today, not as a list of rules, but as loving reminders. You've learned that drinking ice cold water first thing can shock your body, that rushing through a full glass too quickly might lead to discomfort instead of refreshment. You've seen how reusing plastic bottles overnight can quietly introduce unwanted chemicals, and how drinking too much water right after your medication might upset your stomach or interfere with how your pills work. We also talked about how skipping breakfast and relying only on water can leave your brain and body running on empty, how coffee before water can worsen dehydration, why waiting too long to drink anything after waking up keeps your body in a dry, slow state. And finally, why lemon or vinegar water too early, especially before eating, can do more harm than good for a sensitive stomach. Now I want you to hear this clearly. These are not failures. These are habits. Quiet, well-meaning habits that we often carry without thinking. But now you have new awareness, and that awareness gives you the power to change, gently, gradually, and in ways that truly respect the beautiful, wise body you live in. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to feel pressured to do it perfectly. Maybe tomorrow you simply drink room temperature water instead of cold. Or maybe you sip slowly instead of rushing. Maybe you eat something small before adding lemon to your water. Every small shift is a gift you give to yourself. A signal to your body that says, I'm listening. I care. I want you to feel well. I encourage you to try just one of these gentle changes tomorrow morning and pay attention to how your body responds. Even small adjustments can lead to more comfort, clarity, and steadiness throughout your day. And if today's message touched your heart, reminded you of someone you care about, or brought you a bit of reassurance, please consider sharing this video with a friend, a loved one, or anyone who could use a little extra support. So many women experience these quiet challenges alone, not realizing that a simpler, kinder way is possible. Thank you for spending your valuable time with me here on Timeless Wisdom. Remember, you are seen, you are valued, and you deserve kindness and care every single day. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you never miss an update. Take wonderful care of yourself, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon.